Eritrea's decision to withdraw from the Intergovernmental Authority on Development, IGAD, in December 2025 has sent shockwaves through the Horn of Africa. This move is more than administrative. It's a bold rejection of regional cooperation at a time when the region faces conflict, climate crises, and economic hardship. Eritrea's exit raises urgent questions about the future of diplomacy, security, and unity in this strategically vital region. As we unpack the reasons and consequences, it becomes clear this is a pivotal moment for the Horn of Africa, with far-reaching implications for millions. IGAD, or the Intergovernmental Authority on Development, is the Horn of Africa's main regional body. Established in 1996, it was designed to foster peace, security, and economic integration among its member states. IGAD plays a crucial role in addressing cross-border challenges like drought, conflict, and migration, and it serves as a forum for dialogue and cooperation in a region often marked by instability. Its members include countries such as Ethiopia, Kenya, Sudan, Djibouti, Somalia, South Sudan, Uganda, and, until recently, Eritrea. These nations have relied on IGAD to mediate disputes, coordinate humanitarian responses, and promote regional development. On December 12, 2025, Eritrea formally notified IGAD of its withdrawal through a diplomatic note verbale. There was no press conference, no dramatic announcement, just a quiet, official message delivered behind closed doors. This understated approach reflected Eritrea's preference for handling sensitive matters discreetly, away from the international spotlight. IGAD's leadership, led by Secretary Wokne Gebeyahu, expressed deep regret over Eritrea's decision. They urged Eritrea to reconsider, emphasizing the importance of unity and dialogue in facing the region's many challenges. However, Eritrea's decision was final, and the organization was left to grapple with the implications of losing a key member. This withdrawal was not a sudden move. It capped years of tension and frustration, with Eritrea long viewing IGAD as ineffective and biased against its interests. Disagreements over regional policies, security issues, and perceived favoritism had steadily eroded trust between Asmara and the organization. For the Eritrean government in Asmara, IGAD had become a dead end for meaningful multilateral cooperation. Eritrean officials felt their concerns were routinely sidelined, and that the bloc no longer served their national interests or vision for the region. Eritrea's exit now forces the Horn of Africa to reassess its alliances and strategies. The region faces a newly fractured landscape, with old partnerships in question, and new uncertainties emerging about the future of regional cooperation. The message from Asmara was clear. Eritrea believes its interests, security, and ambitions are better served outside the bloc, signaling a new chapter for both the country and the region. Eritrea's history with IGAD has been rocky from the start. After joining as a founding member in 1996, Eritrea suspended its membership in 2007, protesting IGAD's support for Ethiopia's intervention in Somalia. For nearly 2 decades, Eritrea stayed out, criticizing IGAD as ineffective and dominated by Ethiopia. In 2023, Eritrea surprised the region by rejoining, raising hopes for unity after a peace deal with Ethiopia. But Eritrea's return was conditional. It wanted IGAD reformed and its past actions rectified. Asmara aimed to change IGAD from within, not just participate. This set the stage for inevitable clashes, as Eritrea's vision for reform didn't align with other members. The seeds of another exit were already sown. Despite rejoining IGAD in 2023, Eritrea never sent representatives to meetings or activities. Its chair remained empty for 18 months, a silent protest that baffled IGAD and its members. The organization kept reaching out, but Eritrea never engaged or submitted reform proposals. Asmara's absence turned its membership into a hollow gesture. Eritrea seemed unwilling to legitimize a system it fundamentally distrusted. IGAD, built on dialogue, found itself unable to address Eritrea's grievances without engagement. Observers concluded Eritrea's return was strategic, not genuine. The empty chair became a symbol of a promise unfulfilled. IGAD's response to Eritrea's withdrawal was a mix of regret and frustration. The Secretariat highlighted Eritrea's total lack of participation since rejoining, despite repeated invitations. Eritrea never offered concrete proposals for reform, only broad accusations. For IGAD, this refusal to engage was a rejection of the entire process. The organization publicly defended its mandate and principles, pushing back against Eritrea's claims of bias. IGAD's patience had run out. The split was not from failed negotiations, but from Eritrea's silence. Left with little recourse, IGAD could only express regret and defend its record. The break was final, with no room left for compromise. Eritrea's exit from IGAD is deeply rooted in its fierce commitment to sovereignty and self-reliance, values that have shaped the nation since its hard-won independence. For Eritrea, national dignity and the right to make decisions free from outside interference are not just political stances. They are core to its identity and survival in a turbulent region. Asmara views multilateral bodies like IGAD as potential threats to its independence, often seeing them as arenas where powerful states or external actors can impose their will. Eritrean leaders argue that these organizations rarely serve the interests of smaller nations, instead prioritizing consensus that can undermine national priorities. In its strongly worded withdrawal statement, Eritrea accused IGAD of failing the region, claiming it has become a tool for advancing the agendas of certain members, especially at Eritrea's expense. The government cited years of frustration with what it sees as bias and inaction on critical regional issues. Instead of relying on regional consensus, Eritrea prefers to negotiate bilateral deals, where it can control the terms and avoid being forced into compromises that might weaken its position. This approach allows Eritrea to protect its interests more directly and maintain flexibility in its foreign policy. This strategy has led Eritrea to cultivate closer ties with countries like Russia, China, and Gulf states, nations that are outside the traditional regional frameworks and often share a similar skepticism toward Western-dominated institutions. These relationships offer Eritrea new economic and security opportunities, while reinforcing its independent stance. Eritrea's decision comes at a time of renewed tensions with Ethiopia, particularly over border disputes and Ethiopia's ambitions for sea access. These developments have heightened fears over regional security and stability, making Eritrea even more wary of multilateral engagement. From Asmara's perspective, IGAD has proven unreliable and potentially hostile, especially as Ethiopia pushes for greater influence and access to the Red Sea. Eritrean officials believe that remaining in IGAD would only expose them to further diplomatic pressure and possible isolation. By leaving IGAD, Eritrea is sending a clear message. It will chart its own course, on its own terms, determined to defend its sovereignty no matter the cost or the challenges ahead. Eritrea's withdrawal immediately complicates security in the Horn of Africa. IGAD is the main platform for conflict mediation and security coordination. Eritrea's absence fragments these efforts. Managing disputes, like those between Ethiopia and Eritrea, now requires parallel diplomatic tracks, increasing risks of misunderstanding and conflict. Eritrea's strategic coastline is vital for Red Sea security, and its absence weakens regional maritime efforts. This creates gaps in surveillance and response, inviting external powers to step in. Eritrea's move signals a shift toward unilateral action and hard-nosed politics, raising the risk of confrontation. The region becomes more vulnerable to outside influence as external actors exploit divisions. Eritrea's exit deepens fragmentation, making collective security harder to achieve. Eritrea's departure is a blow to IGAD's credibility and unity. Losing a key member with a strategic Red Sea location shrinks IGAD's influence and raises doubts about its authority. The exit forces IGAD to confront its own effectiveness and ability to manage dissent. Financially, the loss is minor, but politically, it's significant. IGAD's strength depends on inclusivity. The withdrawal may spark internal reflection and even crisis, as other members question the organization's value. If IGAD can't adapt, it risks further disengagement and erosion of relevance. The event highlights the region's preference for sovereignty over integration. IGAD must now prove its worth in a landscape where bilateralism is on the rise. Eritrea's exit from IGAD marks a pivotal turning point, ushering in a new era of fragmentation and uncertainty for the Horn of Africa. This move is not just a diplomatic gesture. It signals a profound shift in the region's political landscape, one that will have lasting consequences for years to come. Eritrea's decision to walk away from the bloc is both a symptom and a catalyst of deeper regional tensions that have been simmering beneath the surface. The decision exposes deep divisions and a clash between collective cooperation and unilateral action. It highlights the growing mistrust among neighboring states, as well as the struggle to balance national interests with the need for regional unity. The Horn of Africa, already marked by complex alliances and rivalries, now faces even greater polarization. Regional diplomacy is now more complicated, security cooperation weaker, and the risk of conflict higher, especially between Ethiopia and Eritrea. The fragile peace that once held the region together is now at risk, as old disputes threaten to resurface and new tensions emerge. Cross-border issues, from migration to arms trafficking, may become harder to manage without a unified front. IGAD, once the region's anchor, is diminished, while external actors are poised to exploit the vacuum. As the organization's influence wanes, outside powers may seek to advance their own agendas, further complicating the region's already fragile stability. The absence of a strong regional body leaves the Horn vulnerable to interference and manipulation. The dream of a unified, stable Horn of Africa feels more distant than ever. Communities that once hoped for peace and prosperity now face renewed uncertainty. Everyday life is affected, as families are separated by borders and opportunities for cooperation fade away. The sense of shared destiny that once inspired hope is now overshadowed by division. For the international community, this is a stark reminder of the limits of regional institutions without political will. Global actors are left questioning how best to support peace and development in a region where unity is increasingly elusive. The challenges facing the Horn of Africa are now more complex, requiring renewed commitment and creative solutions. Eritrea's move challenges partners to rethink their approach to a region defined by sovereignty and shifting alliances. Diplomats and policymakers must now navigate a landscape where old assumptions no longer hold and where new partnerships may emerge in unexpected ways. The need for dialogue and engagement has never been greater. The Horn of Africa now faces an uncertain future, shaped by self-interest and new, unpredictable coalitions. As the region stands at this crossroads, its people and leaders must decide whether to pursue division or seek new paths toward cooperation and peace.